Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am RoR2, and this is RimWorld. We're using the TF talkies because they're fun, so TF me to your heart's content, everyone. And also, So I'm going to the con this weekend, everyone, and I've got nothing for it. So if you guys can help, please consider tipping to the channel to help with that.
Truly, this is the dankest dungeon.
CJT98 tipped $5. Take my coins last bit till I start work.
Thank you so much, CJ. It really means so much. Yeah, I'm trying to make things work. Trying very, very hard. Alright, so they're working over here. As soon as that's harvested, we are taking off to this Persona core. Unless, of course, it's gonna wear out, in which case we're just gonna go now. We'll see.
A magnanimous dispensation.
Oh, Ren.
Renasal59 tipped $100.
Thank you so much, Ren. Thank you very much. So, how do I activate this thing? I assume that what just popped up was the, what was... So we got this strange, signal, and I'm assuming that it is something to do with the obelisk. But I don't know if it popped up on the map or not. Oh, okay, here it is. The monolith arrived.
The monolith.
Send a colonist to attune the monolith. This will attract new and more dangerous enemies. Or entities.
When did this become SCP?
Oh, it's with the anomaly update.
Huh.
So do we stay to investigate the monolith, or what's the plan now?
Now I'm gonna go investigate the monolith, yes.
Okay. So stop packing, everybody. You're staying for a while?
Yeah, we're gonna send the Shadow Dragon to do it. Go, Era!
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, is that somebody from the Dragon Council I can convince, or...
Wow. You thinking diplomacy is gonna work here?
Listen, I gotta try something, right?
What game is Sarah talking about playing tomorrow?
There's this climbing game called Bread and Fred.
Oh dear.
It's... Yeah, it's a co-op thing where you play two penguins. and it's kind of like getting over it, where if you start falling, you'll just keep falling.
Oh dear. My condolences.
You know, if you... I think Zim said earlier that if you hit the typical for the day, the two of them will consider it.
We will do it. However, I'm not saying that we'll do it tomorrow. If you go over the tip goal, then yeah, we can do it tomorrow. Provided, Raijin can get the stuff ready, but... Actually, I also got to look at the cost of it. Okay, we're just going to say not tomorrow, but we will soon.
Yeah, sounds like a safe bet.
Attuning the monolith caused it to twist and grow once more. As it did, Era caught a glimpse of what lurks beyond. He understood. The monolith is a doorway, opened wider by your actions. On the other side, Era sensed an inhuman intelligence, a vast complexity, and endless rage. The dark machine god is stirring, and its physical influence will grow. New entities are now discoverable. Yay! Hi,
Praise be the
Kuhoi.
machine.
Hello.
We have activated the monolith.
Yay.
We need to discover 11 more advanced monolith entries.
So what do you get as you advance the monolith? Just access to, like, greater biotechnology for your pawns?
It's not biotech stuff. That's a different DLC. I have no idea what you get, aside from some rituals that, so far, don't really seem to be useful? At least not to me. Like, I suppose that... I suppose I can do things like,
You could make ghoul armies.
Yeah.
You can give people psychic abilities from the looks of things. Advanced psychic husks or something? No, advanced psychic rituals?
I can do things like draw shamblers, summon flesh beasts, phylophagy, perform a psychic ritual that drains experience from a victim and gives it to the invoker. So I guess I can use that to be like, hey, prisoner, you know, all of that skill in social you have? Yeah, that's mine now.
Yeah. And then you can drain them of everything and then execute them.
Or,
Leave
turn
them
them
as-
into a lovely new... Send them to the rip scanner.
Turn them into a what scanner?
No, I can send
Send
them
them
to
to a
the
ghoul?
rip scanner.
What's a rip scanner?
I'm so glad you asked. A pod
Oh,
with
rip
thousands of tissue probe injectors and an ultra-high power vaporizing brain scanner. Once a person is inserted, the device will insert the probes into their body through the skin, while the rip scanner chews through the brain, reading the reflected radiation and destroying the brain in the process. Rip scanning the mind generates a neuropsychic pattern that the scanner can analog transfer to a new high-tier mechanoid subcore.
Ah, so it's turning them into a Cyberman.
Inky.
Where does my crewmate work in this place?
Don't worry
And
about
can I make sure
it.
it's far, far away from that thing?
Did they want to become
Nope.
mechanized?
It's not that big of a
think
ship. Sorry.
Oh.
I think we should put Curly in charge of it.
I wouldn't mind being in charge of it.
I know.
Rip, rip, rip.
Rip, rip, rip!
My only question is can I insert the needles?
I thought you'd want to do the brain ripping.
Both? Please?
Oh, a ghoul is attacking. A single, solitary ghoul.
Ghoul.
What a Chad?
I really need to make an Eldritch Horror Croy, don't I?
No,
I mean, you could also just not.
Why not?
you don't have to.
It would be
Well, yeah, nodding is
it would
fun.
be scary.
Nodding is fun.
Nothing is very fun, I guess. Well. But you see, what's wrong with scary?
Nothing. I love scary.
Everything's
I don't-
nice with a little bit of spice.
I don't like scary, but I mean, I suppose if you want to go for it.
Exposure therapy. Make you less scared.
I mean,
hi.
the Halloween decorations are already starting to sell in the stores. So, you know what?
I
I'm
know.
getting into the Halloween spirit.
Listen, I'm just waiting for Mariah to thaw out. That's when I am in peak form.
You miss. It gets
I think
cold
you're
then.
in-
I hate that.
You're in peak form when you're cute.
Always.
So, never.
Always.
So the ghoul showed
I think-
up and immediately got annihilated. They're supposed to resurrect, so I'm not really going to try moving it yet, but it's taking a while before it does that.
Lol.
You fought a Skyrim bandit. That's like level 1 while you're level 100. Your money or your life.
And Good Cap, you're right. I don't have to make an Eldritch Croy. But what if I want to make an Eldritch Croy?
This is secretly my new attempt to encourage you to not say I have to do this, but instead to say I want to do this, because saying that you have to implies a necessity of some kind. It removes your agency, but saying that you want to gives you all the power and agency. Meaning now you can be a true Eldritch Horror, because now you have all of the agency in the world, and you can impose it in the world upon you by doing the things you want to do just because you want to do them.
Ah, but you forget. The first step is complete dedication of oneself to that goal. It no
Yes.
longer becomes an option. It becomes a must, a need. As this is the course, the drive of fate to become this thing you cannot comprehend.
But you can only take the first step if you want to.
Oh, yes. But I've already decided I want to, so now I have to.
And you have no chance, no way of backing out now. Your insatiable need for knowledge, for
Isn't
understanding,
that
to
wonderful?
become.
If I say no, will you not? Or is it already too late?
Well,
By the time you wonder,
you
if
can
should-
disagree.
Okay,
But-
Cosmo. Cosmo.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Cosmo. Consent is important. If you say no, then no, we will not knot you.
I don't think that's what Cosmo doesn't want.
I mean, I think I don't want that.
We'll let the thought ruminate. Anyway, so about that Eldritch Horror Abomination monstrosity that it's probably really, really hot. Look, the abominable monstrosity that I cannot comprehend and would shatter my mind would. Absolutely.
Of course.
The less comprehensible, the higher it goes on the smash scale.
Oh, you just no, you made me go yesterday. I had to go a week without doing it. Ah, sad.
Tried to make a reference. I thought of making a reference.
You can make all
Correct.
the references you want. I just think Kuro is challenging himself not to.
The challenges have been made, and it will be accepted.
And see, Archer, that's where you have the problem. Because I will change. I will, in a few years, hopefully be a different person than I am now. Hopefully for the better. Sadly, unlike many of the old people here, I'm still too young. I am still too much changing and dynamic and blah 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 and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, I think as you get older, you just kind of become more of who you are, not less.
It's always, I mean, jokes aside, it's always a personal thing. Like, some people will change drastically at some point in their life. Some people will be fairly similar and just like minor changes to who they are. That I know people who will like completely change past their 30s to like basically be a whole different person. It's like, whoa, it's the
Well,
same person.
I have no idea what Aurora sylphs are. But apparently we're going to be facing 48 of them.
That doesn't sound good.
See, Gab, I would put it this way. In my experience, most people stay the miserable bastards they are their whole lives. But I have seen some people change.
Yeah. To an
Never
extent,
lose
yeah.
your whimsy. Never lose your whimsy.
True.
Mm-hmm.
The most valuable lesson I've learned recently is that, like, apparently, if like you just get overwhelmed by emotion, it is actually fine and good and healthy to just cry.
Yeah. It is. It's also fine and good and healthy if you don't.
Yeah.
I would say the important thing is not to put pressure on how you express your feelings, and just if you need to express them, let them be expressed.
I will express my feelings. Ba, 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 ba.
There we go.
Truly, this is the dankest dungeon.
Ido
Ido,
tipped
thank
$5.
you.
Razim coins.
Thank you so much, Ido.
Ido, you're a good. Mwah for the dog. And mwah for the stable.
Mwah.
So there's something so fascinating about waking up and having about a half dozen messages of people sending the same exact link because a certain red panda picture went viral on the internet.
That is the guiltiest babas I've ever heard.
Do you guys remember that video that went viral a couple months ago where it was the two humans were putting their like hands over hands, and then the red panda comes in and puts his paw on top of their hand, and it went absolutely fucking
You are
viral.
roboting.
I am a robot. Give me your spine.
He's just asking if you remember that.
No,
video.
I need that.
Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Toggle underscore who raided my stream with 7 viewers.
Hey, Toggle. How was your stream? Welcome in. Yes, a bat. We're using the TF Talkies today, so you guys can change me to a bunch of different forms. Right now, I am bat. Scree.
Is it exclamation point potions for how it works? I forget
Yes.
which one. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a path of them that you have to work through. It's cool.
But yeah, welcome in, Toggle. Hello, everybody. I am RoR2. We do all sorts of things here. Right now, we are doing some RimWorld. Also trying to raise funds for the convention this weekend, because bills have kind of come through, and I realized I've got nothing. So, yeah. If you guys can tip, it would be appreciated. A friend and I will be going through what looks to be a nightmarish game. I do not promise we will finish it, but we will give it a good shot. But that's only if the tip goal's met. But anyways, Toggle, would you like a regular shout out or a random clip from your channel brought up? Wow. You two were so fast on that. Alright, the signal jammer is getting built, so soon we'll be able to go attack the mech hive.
Let me in! No!
Try me
I
like
want
you
in
out.
the ship! I don't want to die like this!
He died like that. He died like that.
Well, okay.
My oxygen's gonna.
Citizen
I'm
go!
gonna die because I have
Citizen
no
go!
Oh no!
Close it!
Oh no!
oxygen. No, don't close the door! Don't close the door!
Ah!
Oh, I'm playing a minion build witch on top of Angry Birds, and I forgot that I have an ability that if one of my minions get to low health, I can make them blow up.
I did not hear anything you were just saying over the clip.
Oh, sorry.
Ah, well, hello there, Silent Observer. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. Hope you had a good stream. Alright, so we got our signal jammer made. We've got all the tungsten mined out. So, let's go ahead and launch.
Truly, this is the dankest dungeon.
Blue Bat, thank you
Blue
so
underscore bat
much.
15 tipped $5.
Thank you so much for that tip, Blue Bat. Alright, looks like we're going around over here. And away we go!
We're off. We're off.
We're off to see the wizard.
The wonderful Wizard of Oz. Do-do-do-do. Do-do.
Well, enjoy your burrito, Toggle.
Buddy. Oh.
Oh! Those are Aurora sylphs. Those look horrifying.
They're like bugs. They're like flying horror beetles.
Oh,
Oh, they are plasma-based life.
Oh, that's kind of pretty. So they're kind of like mana worms.
Than I am.
Well, no, that would be like mana worms from World of Warcraft.
Well, what we're gonna do is move
Like, they might be horrible. They might be horrific and brutal, but, you know, they can still be pretty.
Here.
Wow.
Landed this spot.
But yeah, I was saying earlier when I was a robot, a few months ago, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a very viral red panda where it was like you had two humans doing the hands in the middle thing, and then the red panda puts his paw on top of their hands.
I don't recall, but I'm also not surprised. Those kinds of videos go
you
a
almost-
lot.
Yeah, you almost certainly saw it at some point because it went extremely viral. It kind of became a nightmare video for me because I saw it like almost immediately because I have all the deep underground red panda connections, so I see all the things. But then for the next like 2 weeks, people that vaguely, even somewhat knew me as a red panda would see that and be like, "Oh, red panda, I will send this to Rye."
My favorite is when I get people that send me Marten videos from the Marten channel that I run.
I've seen this before.
But yeah, I wake up and I've got like 6 notifications and I can see they're all linking the same exact thing. And I'm like, oh God. Then there's Good Gap sending me auto stuff. Good Gap, you were in the middle of the sea of notifications from that comic that I got sent, the Part-Time Dragons comic. Everyone was sending me that comic because there was a red panda in it. But then you were there just sending me music.
Oh.
I'm not saying
Alright,
it's a-
turrets. Mow them down!
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, you should absolutely share things that like remind you of a person. It's very sweet, but also at the same time, it's just very fascinating being a red panda, and I guess it's just niche enough that sometimes something goes so viral that it's like I'm the only red panda that a lot of people know. So they're like, "Oh, Rye likes this."
You are a very memorable red panda.
It's just so funny to wake up to that kind of thing.
Mwah.
Fair enough.
Honestly, no, I get it. I had a similar moment a couple of months ago. I don't remember what exactly it was. I just know it was a specific bird video that came out from like a bird channel that I follow. And I had about 5 people putting it in there. And someone also posted it into like 2 servers that all 5 of us shared. One of the people who sent it to me, mind you. And I was sitting here like, wow, bird.
I've seen this before somewhere. Weird.
Because the funny
Alright.
part is that I literally woke up and I watched that video before I opened my DM, so I saw it and then everyone sent it to me.
Like, I'm sure Eric gets this with anything long-tailed related.
I'm not sure who said. I don't know who's in second.
But do you know who's on first?
Yes.
Well, then what's on third?
I don't know.
I don't know. Half track plays in the background. Sometimes I can do a comedy.
Yeah, funny.
And also, anyway, you're gonna deserve me randomly linking you music, because thanks to you, my YouTube recommendations now include Ado and Chogokusai more than like I thought they would. So I'll just randomly be browsing and it's like, oh, that sounds like a fun song, or that looks like a cool thumbnail. Then I'll watch it and I'm like, ah.
It looks like Raharu's in second place now, Val. Good night, Azure.
Night.
You're a
Night.
good boy. Oh, I just assumed you wanted to be cute about it, Azure.
There we go, Chogokusai. There we go. Words. Darn it, you said The Wizard of Oz, and now I want to watch the new Twister movie. I never got around to watching it.
A gleaming endowment.
Toggle
Oh,
underscore
thank
tip
you, Toggle.
$25. Take care of yourself, sexy.
I don't know about the sexy part, but
I
thank
agree.
you.
I agree. 100% agree. Completely agree. Thank you. Someone had to say it.
Look what you've started.
I nailed ground beef. But I'm fine.
I should eat food before it gets too late, shouldn't I?
It's probably a good idea.
Excuse me.
See, this is the time where I start accidentally, subconsciously talking about food too much and make everyone angry, because then I make everyone hungry.
Can't relate, I was eating. And then I breathed my food.
Today was a day I had smoked some meat with my grandfather. So I got food, got barbecue.
How many cigarettes did you give it?
500.
Enjoy, Toggle. And thank you again. Ah. Well, we are starting with the snap line. What else do you plan to do, Blue Bat? Unless you were wanting to go for the, synth route instead.
What's wrong with this snow?
Nothing's wrong.
Not fair. The synth sounds exciting.
Nothing wrong with snaps. They're hot.
Speaking of hot, that is a lot of fire.
We can't be an intelligently designed species because the fact that I inhale like the tiniest little gram of ground beef and sends me into like tears and a choking spree can't be a symbol of good intelligent design.
Do you have something you need to tell us, Gibgab?
Why must our breathing hole be the same as our feeding hole?
I mean, it could be worse. It could be the same as our bottom.
It could be. But what I'm saying is just because it could be worse doesn't mean it's stupid. Doesn't mean it's not stupid.
The funny design is to keep you on your toes. Make sure you're paying attention. And it seems you were not.
I don't have enough money to pay attention.
Me either.
Maybe that's the real ADHD.
I don't know why, but I was almost expecting when I said that for Gibdad to say something like, "Yeah, there's probably a fetish for that."
You and me are not the same. I'm not as brain rotted as you are that way. I have other kinds of brain rot.
Fair enough.
Like hearing someone say lizard in a funny way and then spending like 2 hours making a meme about
Lizard.
it. Yes. Lizard knows what I'm talking about.
All right. You said lizard in my brain, immediately just thought of the meme. I was like, all right. My lizard brain.
It pains me that I have to wait 2 weeks for that to get shown.
For what?
Lizard.
I'm not following. What do you mean, lizard?
For the recallers. The video I made.
Oh.
It pains me that I have to wait 2 weeks.
The context for people to know what you're talking about.
There is no context.
I'd ask for your thoughts about wild traditions and having to wait, but I know it was mid.
When did I say that?
Well, you haven't said otherwise.
Oh. Look. I enjoyed this session. I cannot wait. You left at a cliffhanger that makes me wish the next time you wake up that you roll out of bed and get a cramp because you stepped on like the wrong way on the floor. How dare you cliffhanger me like that for 2 weeks? I cannot wait for the next session. How about that?
There's a cliffhanger every session. What do you
I don't
expect?
know. That didn't have much.
He's been varying it up.
That didn't have much in the way of,
He only
passion
complimented the
behind it.
ending, Zim. He only complimented the ending.
That too.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still like breathing up ground.
He's still dying
How
from
are you-
eating.
I enjoyed the session. I think it was fun to see the party fight Cobalt. Namely because I enjoyed the little interactions there. I definitely wish Narashi had done more of the shit talking. That was really funny. The fact that you went into Bitney and you made like straight up half a supervillain, half just like, I mean, it's not really a supervillain. It's just Disney. That's about as
I
villainous.
mean, that basically is a supervillain.
Yes, exactly. I was about to say like you're making him evil, but I mean it's already Disney. Like I don't know what more you need. And then you just went and spiced it up into like the full blown over percented. But I kind of dig it. I respect it. I was down for that.
I was just thinking syndrome.
Yeah, it is kind of more Syndrome than it is Disney. It doesn't have enough of like the anti-Semitism or something. But anyway, yeah,
Well, it was just more the way he described the lair sounded like the Incredibles lair, so all I could think of was syndrome.
is all we need for like Bidney himself to be a monster in combat.
He's just all tech. That would be cool.
He just pulls out like 5 drones behind him and they begin to whack the party.
And no, they farm them.
You're right.
No. They reverse farm them.
So whoosh? So they whoosh them?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I enjoyed the session, is basically what I'm saying. It was a good session.
And that
I
gives
don't
me
know
an
why.
idea for a new thing. Time to add it to the to-do list.
New idea unlocked.
I think we doomed the party. You would try to fight Bitney.
Look, the party will be fine. They'll get out of it somehow.
Well, I mean, is there going to, I don't know, be some sort of giant? I'm expecting a giant like mechanoid, like the Truckinator style Pikachu or something to be the big boss of Bidney Park. I don't know why, but I'm kind of hoping it's a giant mech Pokemon.
You know what's more terrifying than a giant mech Pokemon? Bird.
Lus Fuss Family Diner. Hello there. Welcome in. No, we are not playing multiplayer. We're just kind of chilling, hanging out, having a good time while I'm playing some RimWorld here.
I feel like if you try to put like okay, I don't know exactly how the RimWorld multiplayer mod works, but if you were to be able to get a bunch of people and have them just hot join in to control their own characters, I'm pretty sure the game would crash with how many characters you have.
100% yes.
I believe the way it works is you all can issue commands and different people have different priorities on commands, but it's like you can to a degree override other people's priorities in emergencies. It's not the greatest in my opinion.
You step on toes a lot of times.
All I know is a few days ago I was hanging out with Raygon one morning while he was trying to set it up with Subsag for like hours and never got it running.
It's kind of awkward and everyone steps on each other's toes.
You gotta have the same DLCs and same mods in the I think same order. So it's really annoying.
But even then, it's still not guaranteed to work, because it could just be like, and it doesn't work with this mod.
Yeah. You're rolling dice. Gambling.
It's usually more you have to start with it and then slowly add other mods onto it that you want. And just if one doesn't work, well, then tough.
Me and my friends will not play without like 100+ mods, along with the multiplayer mod. So we sit there for like hours trying to figure out which one is breaking it.
Xenoplex, I actually want to raise a terrifying thing I learned recently. For one, I agree, Val. But the Huntsman spider is big. But depending on the type of huntsman, for the most part, the biggest ones that people are really scared of tend to be fairly not
Huntsmans
medically
aren't
significant.
scary. Huntsmen
they're
aren't
all-
scary. They sting, but they're not going to
But
kill
they're-
you.
Yeah, they're not like I bite you and you die. Venom. No, it's just
There, I bite you and you'll get really, really sick for a day or two.
Yeah, and more importantly,
Why wouldn't I make them hot, Val?
Do I want to know? I wasn't paying attention. Oh. Okay. Never mind, it isn't as concerning as I thought.
So why are we talking about how terrifying huntsman spiders are?
Right. So I was saying, they may not be medically significant, and I've seen a lot of comments to the like of like Australians being all, "Oh yeah, there's a giant 30-centimeter spider on my wall. Yeah, that's Larry. He's a good bloke. He catches mosquitoes. Just leave him alone. He doesn't bother you."
Yeah, that's basically a huntsman.
And then the huntsman can hide in your car's sun visor. And if you open it and there's a huntsman, which can't get in there because they will flatten themselves into small spaces. I was reading a news article about a couple who, like, one of them opened the sun
Given me
visor
heart
and it dropped
attacks
onto their
like that
lap.
before.
Yeah, they almost had a car accident, and I was sitting here like, wow, Australian spiders are getting creative. They want to kill us with we've got car accidents. It's a whole new level of fucked up. You're scared of the Black Widow. Get ready for the car accident spider.
I mean, nah, I'm not scared of the Black Widow. I'm scared of the whitetail. The spider that bites you with the venom of its last meal. As well as some necrotizing fasciitis. Let's add some necrotizing fasciitis in there.
Yeah.
And they're tiny little SOBs.
But to be fair, from what I know of the whitetail spiders, they still aren't really medically significant to humans for the most part.
If the issue's more likely depends where they bite you, but usually it's like worst that'll happen is you might lose a finger.
Oh, that no biggie.
Yeah, that's all.
So
it's fine.
Well, I mean, it depends where they bite you. If you can stop circulation.
So
if you're wearing a tight ring or a watch, you know, these sorts of things. That depends how medically significant a whitetail spider is, but fair enough.
So to be fair, they, as far as I know, they are currently looking specifically into the white-tailed spider because...
Good night, Kenku.
Night.
Good night, Kenku.
You know how, like, sometimes they'll do a study of all the medical data and be like, wait, hold up, there's something weird here?
Yeah.
Basically, most, if not all, of the cases of white-tailed spiders being identified were the kind of like, I think it was one, rather than properly identifying it. And when there were proper arachnologists identifying the white-tailed spider bites, so far they haven't actually really found necrosis and very minor infections. So it might genuinely be a case of like the spider getting a bad rep but not actually being that.
Well, it really honestly depends what its last meal was and when it last ate.
Okay.
All
It might be
Because it
right.
eats other spiders.
Let us summon Apocryton.
What?
Apocryton.
And a puppy. I think that's stop talking about spiders, guys.
That is a boss for the. It's a mechanoid boss. Also, Val, what do you think about this form? Apocryton incoming.
But yes, you're right. Most biters from whitetails are actually harmless. It's just they can be not harmless. It's just quite rare. So yes, you're right. We generally don't worry too much about them. It's just when we see them, we kind of stay away from them. They don't usually like to come out much anyway. They like to, stay hidden.
I was gonna say, yeah, I am fascinated by that particular tidbit. It's just like, oh yeah, if we have actually positively properly identified the white-tailed spider as being the bite, so far no necrosis. Which, I mean, when you're like 130 to 0, I think that's pretty conclusive. At that point, we're talking. If it happens on the next case,
Okay.
it will be like a 1% chance.
Apocryton has arrived. The Apocryton is a psychically present mechanoid commander who can resurrect recently killed mechs and jump long distances. It carries a long-range toxic needle gun. Interesting.
Apocryton sounds like dessert.
I was expecting to see some like giant mech.
I was as well. This thing is not much bigger than anything it came with.
I'm disappointed in its size.
A mechanoid commander designed to coordinate and motivate other mechs during long extermination campaigns. Its most obvious power is its ability to resurrect recently killed mechs by supercharging their self-repair processes. Less obviously, it is intelligent and psychically present, radiating hatred into the minds of anyone in a wide radius. It can also move quickly with its built-in jump launcher. While all mechanoids have a dim, psychically present intelligence, only the Apocryton and a few others truly feel hatred for their victims and understand the suffering they inflict. Okay, that last part is kind of freaky.
They're like supporters of the cause, wholly, not just drones.
Me when the mech's kind of freaky though.
Well, no, these are the commanders. This guy's the one that is like, I hate them. You all destroy them. And make them
This
suffer.
mechanoid stuff is all like, it's all modded, right?
No. It's DLC,
Or is
but...
this is part... Oh, it's DLC?
Yeah.
Mechanoids are
Is
from...
this like the developers thinly disguised geeks or something?
Probably.
Isn't it from their horror like DLC basically?
No, this is
the
from Biotech.
mechanoids... Yeah, Biotech. There's two paths you can go. You can basically go mechanoids, or you can go, like, cyborgs. Or you can do both, and have your cyborgs controlling mechanoids.
Oh, you said cyborgs.
What if I control you?
I mean, how? Because that would
I
depend
mean, I'd like to see
on
you try it.
my.
It'd be kind of cute
That
to
would-
watch you.
That would depend on my answer on what I do/feel about that.
We can discuss it off stream. I mean, what?
Oh boy.
Okay, to be fair, controlling it would be the easiest thing ever because I just have to go, hey, Curry, if you do this, I'll watch an episode of Doctor Who with you.
Okay.
Exactly. It's bam, easy. Every time I need you to do something for me, I'll just tell you we'll watch another episode.
You know what? You say that, but nobody has ever done that to control me. Okay, Gary, but no one else has ever done that to control me.
Nobody has done this. Okay, well, one person did this.
Or is that
The
negotiation?
best part about the best part about this negotiation, Gab, is that you have basically an infinite pass because of how many Doctor Who episodes there are.
Yes.
And you're forgetting the fact that I would also watch them infinitely.
And it can scale. So like I could be like, hey Curry, if you get rid of that spider, we'll watch an episode of Doctor Who. And like, okay, we can do that, right? And then Curry can do that. But if I want to be like, hey Curry, can you rob a bank? Okay, I'll watch a season of Doctor Who with you. Your choice.
Come on, at least all of New Who at that point.
Sure.
Well, how many seasons is that?
That's like 11 seasons.
Okay.
Exactly. We can,
No.
What I'm saying is
That's
this
like-
can scale up.
16 seasons.
Wait, what? Okay, how many episodes is that?
Don't worry about that. Look, if he's gonna rob a bank, we're gonna have enough money, okay?
Yeah, I mean, true.
If you knock out like the 3 episodes a day, that should be good for a while.
Bop, 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 bop. Bop.
Oh yeah, but when we were playing Magic, I said, what was it? I said "wah," and then went meow, and then one of my there were my two coworkers there, and then one of them had a friend over, and I swear when I said "wah," he just looked at me and he said something about red panda, and I have the feeling that he did clock me as a furry.
He's a furry.
I don't think he's a furry, but I think clock me as a furry.
No, definitely a furry themselves.
Why is
I know.
100% furry lingo? I have never met a single person who even knows so much about red pandas that they would understand that wah is the noise that they make and is also colloquially a term used to name them.
I was gonna say I missed that. He said something about a trash panda, not red panda, but still.
I have learned new information today.
They are
I
attacking.
have a friend who is not a furry but has a red panda in his raid group and knows why.
And the battle commences.
What new information would that be, CJ?
The wall thing. I never knew that before.
Annihilate them all!
Oh, what the fuck is tumbles?
I don't know
I
what
have
tumbles
no
is.
idea what tumbles is.
Oh, okay. So, am I about to go on a big red panda rant?
Probably.
Sure.
All right. So, red pandas. The name panda is actually just the word for eater of bamboo in the original Nepalese language, I believe. And red pandas were actually discovered before giant pandas. But there was this really weird thing that happened where the first
Oh no, I died!
English-speaking person. Rest in peace, but I'm talking about red pandas here, so could you
Can you die more
Stop
quietly?
dying for a second.
But so the first English-speaking person that discovered the red panda actually decided they wanted to name them WHA, W-H-A, modeled after the noise that they make. Now, the noise that they make is actually this funny little cry that you don't hear very often because they make a whole bunch of different noises. But the main noise that you hear from them out in the wild is the WHA. However, that guy took so long on his journey through the mountains and finding all these animals that someone else went and discovered the red panda and got back and wrote an article about red pandas. So he got credited with the discovery, even though technically he was second. So that's why we call them the red panda. And because of that, that's why we also call them the lesser panda, because the giant pandas, as a result, got more renown before the red pandas, despite red pandas technically being first. Red pandas are also called bear cats in some cultures because they have a lot of resemblance to bears and cats, and yet they are neither. They are most closely related to mustelids like raccoons and martens and so forth, but they are not part of that actual taxonomical family. They are their own family called the Aluridae.
Okay.
That's a lot of information in a few seconds. I'm going to remember like 25% of it. You'll probably tell me again sooner or later.
I'm just gonna have like the vacant eyes with the
pretty
much. My favorite red panda fun fact: they are the only non-primate mammal who shows a preference for artificial sweetener. The way that this has been tested is that they'll put out a bowl of water, a bowl of sugar water, and a bowl of Splenda water. And primates will enjoy Splenda water. No other mammal will show a preference for Splenda water, except for red pandas. Isn't that wild?
I guess you really like sweet things. That must be why you're together with Zim.
Was together.
Hey.
I'm dead.
Ugh.
Yeah, but I appreciate that you died a little bit less quietly.
A little bit less quietly?
Over there bleeding out. Wait 1 second, I gotta give out the lore. You can live for a little bit longer.
I said what I said and I'm sticking with it. Give Gab.
I respect the blade now.
Oh dear God, my leg! That's nice, dear. Let me finish my story.
I am just sad.
To be fair, I feel like if I was like bleeding out on the side of the highway or something and waiting for an ambulance, I would actually appreciate it if the person comforting me went into like a super nerdy autistic rant.
Wow, rude. I see what you think of my rants.
Well, that they're nerdy and autistic, yes.
Guessing there's no resurrection in sight for me. I died, Val.
What? Did people only realize that you died because I was doing taps? Did they not pay attention to you screaming amongst the red panda trivia?
Thank you, Val.
Well, it could have been anyone.
You said I died.
Cares.
How are we supposed to know it was Zim?
He said I died.
That could be hyperbolic.
Then you would have said X person died.
What if
he got better?
Oh, I'm glad you're back to life, hon. So anyway, the whole Splenda thing, like all mammals prefer like sweet things because sweetness naturally shows calories, and calories are good and energy. It's just very curious that only primates, such as ourselves and monkeys, will actually like artificial sweeteners like Splenda, except for specifically red pandas, which is just such a weird, crazy thing. Like, why only red panda?
They're weird.
They are weird.
My question is, does it have to do with, do both species eat tubers?
I literally went over this. Panda means eater of bamboo. Do you think bamboo is a tuber?
I don't know. I'm sleepy.
Hi, Sleepy. Go to fucking bed.
No, not yet.
Alright, now I'm gonna pull out the Doctor Who episode card.
It's also really interesting because like giant pandas, they are bamboo obligates. They have to eat bamboo because that's what their stomachs are adapted to. Technically, red pandas can be okay without bamboo. It's just really helpful for their health. Because they can subsist off of a lot of fruits. That's where the whole apple thing comes from. That's frequently something that gets fed to them a lot at zoos, along with grapes and pears and other stuff. They're also actual carnivores. They will eat bugs and small birds and eggs.
Eat birds. That's rude.
Birds are tasty. What can you say?
Okay, so give gap. In modern Doctor Who, there is roughly 170 episodes. Each episode is roughly 50 minutes long.
Oh my god, it's like the two autistic conversations in parallel.
Which
And I don't know which one is worse.
it averages out to be roughly 1,400 hours to watch all of modern Doctor Who.
Is it like the conversation where all I can go is like, yes, dear, that's nice. We can watch another episode of Doctor Who? Or is it the conversation where I go like, all I know about red pandas is they go wah. They're weirdly not like pandas. And they look like weird living plushies every time I see them in a video rather than real animals.
I love the way red pandas walk. Like, if there's so many videos you can find where red pandas walk, and they have this like funny little wiggle because they are just tube enough to be kind of slinky, but not so tube-like as a Marten. So like you just see their butts wiggling around whenever they walk, and it's so funny.
I assume that they're more like, if you see them climbing, they probably look less goofy.
Yeah, I mean, like, their anatomy is very much built for climbing and trees. They even outright have, like, a pseudo thumb specifically built for climbing up and down trees.
Yes.
Which, you know, is a very rare thing in mammal species. Also, with the Doctor Who thing, that's actually pretty close to the amount of time it would take to watch all of One Piece.
The One Piece is real.
But here's the problem. That's only modern Doctor Who.
Yeah, and I'm only referring to modern One Piece.
Oh, fair enough.
The real problem is I think I'd rather eat my leg than I would rather watch One Piece. Everyone always says it's good after like 300 episodes, and I'm like, yeah, after 300 episodes.
Okay. So, One Piece, I actually really enjoy One Piece, and I really enjoy looking at Oda's art. But I will say, from a watching experience, it's absolutely kind of trashy, because they invented a lot of the shonen tropes, and you can see, like, the early stages of the tropes, but you can also be like, well, with an extra 15 years of anime, we know how to do this so much better. And a lot of the fun of One Piece comes from when you get deep enough that you start seeing, real crazy and interesting and intricate character development because they've had so much time to cook. But it's not enough for me to say that it's actually worth watching unless you have another reason to pull you into it. The story itself is a lot of fun, and like, I will admit, I love it. And yes, it does get good after 300 episodes, as stupid as it is to say. Once you get to the character who just goes up to every lady and asks to see their panties, it gets so much better. And this is unrelated to him asking the ladies for their panties. It just coincidentally, that's when it gets better. It's definitely a frustrating thing because it's very, very good, but also at the same time, so outdated and so bad at some points.
Yeah, and that's why they're remaking a bunch of the episodes, right?
The live action remake is actually really good.
Yeah, like I watched the live action remake, and I've tried to watch I've watched basically what the live action remake covers in the anime and what they did in the live action remake, and I'm like, you know what? For the amount of time it saves, it's good enough. It's good. Yeah.
No, it's more than good. Like, there's some small criticisms you could have about the remake, but realistically speaking, it's just like sometimes it's a hot mess. So, like, for example, the most recent, like, I need to get back to watching it, but the most recent arc that I finished was what was the town called? Well, anyway, I was talking to my friend, and like I was at like episode 250 or something, and I was talking to him about it, and I was starting on the arc, and then he was telling me about part 2 of the same arc that I was on. And anime long-standing stuff, we talk about it in the scale of arcs. And I'm horrible with names, but it's if anyone knows One Piece, it's the town that floods and is on the ocean and has the whole train thing where they get their ship right. But it was so funny to me because like that's when the cracks really started showing, in my opinion, because you start getting episodes that, realistically speaking, are 5 minutes of new animation and 15 minutes of reused animation. And that's the kind of stuff that really drags it down. And mind you, that one isn't even marked as a filler episode because technically it had new animation. But like you go through the OP, you go through recapping what happened last episode, you go through the flashbacks of things that are relevant to the current episode, you get a few minutes of new stuff, then you have the commercial break, and then you redo the stuff that was new. And then the episode's over and you're going into the eating. And it's like, okay, great. Awesome episode. Good job.
Yeah, Bleach and Naruto are both guilty of that when they were dragging it out, waiting for the manga to get further ahead. Really milking every episode. What I really wish they'd done is just taken a break. Like, slowed down, let the artists do what they needed to do, and then give us a nice episode, if that makes sense.
Production
I don't know.
must continue.
I don't mind if a production release takes a bit of time to release something good rather than to release something fast.
But Curly,
Mm.
money.
I'll pay more if they take a time and wait and make something good than if you produce something fast.
The people want to be entertained. Now.
I will watch something that's already good while waiting. There's plenty of content already. I don't need new content immediately.
But I will say, like, when I started going into watching One Piece and actually taking it seriously, the thing I was not expecting to really enjoy about One Piece was the crazy amount of detail that gets put into every character's relation with everyone else on the boat. Like, I was not expecting Zoro to be a big brother to Chopper. That was like, there's just so many tiny little moments that are like, blink and you'll miss it between Zoro and Chopper that just gives so much depth to the characters. There's one particular episode where they go to, after Skypiea, they fall into the Marine base. And there's an episode where, Chopper's like acting like a big buff guy, and Zoro's just in the back, and he's just grinning and clapping, and it's just such a good frame because Zoro is so supportive of Chopper coming out of his shell and coming into his own character, and it's so unique because Zoro does not treat anyone else the same way. Zoro is very aggressive about like his boundaries and stuff, but he just has this special thing with Chopper, and I love it. Thank you, Zem. I love you. Mwah.
Gosh.
Man, sounds like I need to like try to start watching One Piece again. I've skipped around. I have like knowledge, but it doesn't add up.
It sucks because I don't think I can recommend it unless like I'm going in it with the ulterior motive of also studying Oda's art because I have a lot to learn from that art and there's a lot that I can apply to my own art. So I have an ulterior motive that gets me through a lot of these crappy episodes, but it's hard for me to recommend it unless you have a whole lot of time to kill or if you are completely okay with a whole bunch of filler bullcrap. There's a lot of great moments that make One Piece wonderful, and there's a reason why it's popular, but also it's like, let's be real, there's some anime tropes that are just so frustratingly true, like the filler episode trope. And like slight detour on the conversation. I feel like this is also another problem with Final Fantasy 14, where 14 has an absolutely fantastic, wonderful, amazing story, but you have to get through so much bullcrap to get to the good stuff, as Zim will very much attest to.
Yeah, it's one of the things why I say I don't really recommend a level skip, but if I was to skip a point, the first 50 levels are kind of where you could, but you will miss out on a lot of character development.
I turned my brain off for the early levels. Like I completely shut my brain off until Stormblood happened, and Xenos pulled up and beat your ass the first time.
Stop.
CJ, I fully agree with that. Like
hold on. You were saying stop?
I was just saying stop because I didn't know if we wanted to go too heavy into spoilers with Final Fantasy.
Okay.
But that was fair.
We're talking about a story that's like 15 years old at this point.
It's still, though, it's...
Hey, I'm still at Heaven's Word.
You passed it, I think.
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't remember. It's all doubled.
I'm either at the very end of Heaven's Word or I'm at the very beginning of like finale.
It's near the end of Stormblood, which is the expansion after Heaven's Ward.
That's you.
It's like a good 2 expansions into the game.
I'm not into that expansion. So I'm not gonna like go into specific spoilers, but like I fully agree with what CJ is saying. And here's one of the big problems with you kind of get this with the One Piece community, but it's not so bad because they're not like tyrants about it, but especially over in Final Fantasy 14. My opinion is if you really don't want to sit through so much inane dialogue that yes, it does have character building, but sometimes you just want to play the game, not watch an audiobook. There's so much, even in Heaven's Word, that I am completely okay with. Like, you hit the key moments of the Dragon Song War and just watch a couple of the cutscenes afterward that lead up to Stormblood, and you're pretty much good, in my opinion. And I have caught so much fire and so much crap for daring to suggest that you skip anything after A Realm Reborn. But let's be real, let's be honest. There's so much skippable content in there, and you can get 90% of the joy.
Unless it's a talking cutscene, I usually don't feel it's that worth watching, honestly.
I've ranted about this before. I have tried Final Fantasy 14 3 or 4 times? No, 4 times.
Honestly, the gameplay is what keeps me. Sorry.
2 of those times, the friend that I got on there to play with never actually came to play with me, so...
Oof.
it was just kind of like, well, fuck. But the the last two times were on stream, and I had so much. I had literal wars in my chat. I lost friends over the mere suggestion of skipping A Realm Reborn. I had people that were adamant that I had to go through it to understand anything. I had others that were like, "Oh yeah, it sucks. You should skip it." And in the end, it was like I could not be bothered to try it anymore because of the community.
I understand.
That's weird. Most people I know are usually, well, I don't know. Most of my exposure with the community has been more along the lines of, I mean, the first half of ARR is okay. It introduces to you, but all the crystal brays, which is like 90% of the quests you're going to get stuck doing in ARR, is just completely pointless and side fodder and is completely irrelevant. But, I mean, I wouldn't judge a player for skipping it. What bugs me is when you see people who skip all the way to current content, then get all the way to endgame and still don't have a bloody clue how to play the game. That annoys me. But that's because they've got level skips, not story skips. If you get a story skip, I get it. It's like, I like the story, but that's what New Game Plus is for.
I'm still sad. They buffed the Gunbreaker's 1 invulnerability ability. I can no longer just.
Oh, you can no longer give the healers. You can no longer give the healers heart attacks.
Yeah, I love doing that. I was thinking of setting a back row up just to where I could just press it and then immediately cancel it to just die.
No, the worst thing is when your Gunbreaker would wait right until the end, and then they cut it so close that the healer's gone, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna, like, benediction. And then it's like, oh, thanks, now I have nothing.
I've done that before. I've done that on multiple times.
Xeno, it is a matter of opinion, but it's also... Final Fantasy XIV is the origin of the debate of should you have to... Is it worthwhile to have to put in 100 hours of playing a game before it gets fun? That's where that started.
I say this coming from... I put thousands of hours into 14. I was a hardcore raider in 14. I used to purple parse, orange parse. I never gold parse, but I was top 5, 10 percentile in multiple jobs and multiple roles. I say this as someone that absolutely loves 14, but the community that centers around it and its story is so toxic. I think the story is fantastic and amazing and beautiful, but I also say this as someone that follows .hack, has gone through the .hack. I say this as someone that's gone through all of Kingdom Hearts and gets Kingdom Hearts. I think there's a certain point where you have to be like, this isn't for everyone. Not everyone wants to invest 1,000 hours into a story that's only moderately better than a freaking 10-hour book that they can just read casually. And that's the core point. Like, why are you trying to sell Final Fantasy XIV as the most amazing story ever when there's so many wonderful books out there that are almost, if not just as good as the 14 story?
I think as someone who's probably, well, I guess similar sort of level, I kind of, and I don't know, the story's nice and all, and it's good, but I've never really felt an over attachment to it. I enjoy it, but if you don't like it, the main reason you play it is because the grind is fun. So, you know, if you want to skip the story, that's fine. I don't care. I think it's also worth noting, I played on the Japanese servers. I never played on the US servers, so mostly it was just me and all the Australian refugees on the Tonberry server, and because we were non-Japanese speakers in a Japanese community, we were all just kind of pretty chill and passive and kind of just do what you do. We don't really care. We're just happy to have people we can play with who we can communicate with. So I don't know, it was a bit different. My experience, the community was very accepting because they're just like, someone to play with, yay.
I was there for the hype horror moments.
That's another part of it too. Like the different servers with the different language speakers, there's completely different cultures with it too. Just like even down to party finder etiquette and picking up random groups for bosses. Like once they started pushing through more and more ultimates and more raid finder groups who are doing ultimates as opposed to statics, yeah. The differences between the cultures started becoming really apparent. But on the American side, on the Western side, there is so much crazy, toxic elitism that's veiled as this sense of inclusivity and openness. Like, especially with healers. Like, you guys are talking about, making your healers panic with Super Bowl. And it's like, yeah, but if your healer is panicking because you pressed your invulnerability button, they're bad. I hate to say it, but they bad.
Well, I mean, good healers don't get a panic. They're just going to be like, oh, god damn it. And then they'll deal with it and move on.
I'm not
because
even...
you've got another button. It's like...
I'm not even going
more
to say,
angry.
That's 10 seconds that I get to spam my AoE move and do more DPS than the DPS because the DPS are being bad without having to worry about healing you. So please, press that button. And then at the end of it, I will press my one button to heal you to full and everything will be great.
Yes. It's just, sometimes you don't have a cooldown to burn, but fair.
But so what I was going to say was there's like this such a toxic inclusivity that there became a meme for a very long period of time while I was playing where like there was this whole debate about whether healers should be DPSing or if healers are just there to heal. And it got so horrendous. There were actually like so many arguments in so many different Western communities about this kind of thing. And it's like, why aren't you doing DPS as a healer? You don't even have to switch cleric stance anymore. All you have to do is just press one button. For the love of God, help them kill the enemies. You do more DPS than the DPS. Just press a button.
Oh, in AoE situations, deaths of... you don't for most situations. The only example I can think would be a really buffed up white mage in a short burst situation, but most of the time the DPS will trash you unless your DPS is shit. But I guess DPS shit is quite common.
I will remind you, I was a hardcore raider. I know numbers. I would outpace my DPS with great frequency.
It's really
the DPS in random dungeons are so bad.
It's also worth noting that I was a hardcore raider too, and my trick was I would always just do that stuff during prime time when all the other raiders would do it. So usually I'd actually get paired with other people who know what they're doing. Because that's a thing. If you don't know what you're doing, we teach you how to do it. If you don't learn, well then, okay. I guess
the problem was on the Western side.
We tried to help.
The problem was on the Western side, there created this sort of stigma where you can't try and help someone improve because that's being toxic and trying to push DPS when DPS shouldn't matter too much in this game because the game is supposed to be accessible and open for everyone. But the result is so many people wouldn't even know whether or not their AoE rotation did more damage against 2 targets or 3 targets, which was a huge important breakpoint for a lot of DPS classes. whether you do it against 2 targets or 3 targets.
It's basically, unless you're dancer or machinist, it's 3 or more.
I understand how easy it is to roll.
I know.
The vast majority of the plebs that play do not, because they are mouth breathers who think it's toxic to try and suggest people improve at the game they play. And I'm very passionate about this because this is the same exact toxic inclusivity that I experienced in Splatoon.
Look, as a DPS main, all I can say is I confirm I don't really play that much. And the thing I remember the most is when I did the Titan fight, I fell off the side of the map and they completed the fight without me.
That happens a lot.
Pat the Ido.
Alright. I think I'm gonna head out for the night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Adios.
That's fair.
All I know about my DPS class is some of the abilities look cool and I want to use them.
I just thought the classes were all quite like, yes, I think it's funny that once you study enough of the classes, you kind of go, wait, these literally all play the same. Like, they have slightly different buttons.
Black Mage is fun.
Black Mage plays a lot like Pictomancer, in my opinion. But that's Picto's new,
I haven't played the new expansion, and I don't
love
care.
Pictomancer.
And yeah, you know, I really wish I could get my furniture tab split in 2 because, several of my tabs, I want them split in 2 because it's like, well, here is half my screen taken up with all of this, and I can't see shit.
God damn.
No, I missed my raid group. I had to dissolve it because, well, I think a couple of them are still going, but a few people took the opportunity to leave with me. But when I got my job, I could no longer keep running it, so I had to leave. And I missed them. Sad. They were fun.
Happens sometimes.
It's not like I don't even have particularly high standards, but I do just remember a particular, this is ingrained as a core memory for me. I remember there was a run I did of Ramu in Shadowbringer. I think that was the 5th floor, but I distinctly remember this because I remember going in. I did a raid finder for the normal fight. Or no, this would, whatever. It doesn't matter. I was doing this to get my my gear set up for the start of the Savage tier, and I got partied with a group where the result was I cast Raze. It was something like 45 times, and half the fight was just me and one tank being alive.
Oh, I've done that before.
It just shocked me because, you go through this, you're sitting through this, it's like a slog of amazing proportions, and you're just like, if they just put in rages in normal content and force people to learn how to, be conscious at the desk, this wouldn't be a problem. But no, they have to make it as accessible as possible because they're trying to make a story-based game that also, incidentally, also happens to have a whole lot of gear treadmills that involve a lot of grinding. And so now I'm being held hostage by a bunch of people that I can't give critique to because the community will shit on me and call me an asshole because I dare suggest that I don't want to be in Ramu for 20 minutes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. We had different experiences with the community, and that sucks.
That's what he's saying. It's like it also depends on the culture and the server, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm fully aware that the Japanese side of the culture and their community is, if someone on the Japanese side, if they wipe, they will actually take responsibility for it if they caused it. They will actually apologize. That's just part of their culture. And, I'm not going to say it's perfect. I'm not going to say is inherently superior or anything like that.
Doesn't.
But at
It
least
feels
they
respectful.
hold themselves accountable.
It feels respectful. Because, like, you know, there's very much the culture of, if there's a wipe, always look at what, even if someone screwed up and like it cascaded into a wipe, even then it's very much okay.
Good
What
night,
could I
Era.
have done to prevent that as well? It's not just all on the healer or all on the tank. It's like, what could I have done? Could I have second winded? Was there, you know, a mitigation I could have thrown out there? You know, it's further. It shouldn't just be all on one person. It's a team-based game, and I don't know. But it's kind of icky that communicating with your team members is seen as bullying. That's disgusting.
Like, in fairness, when I played through it, the things that I remember particularly were, most of the time I basically didn't have any issues in dungeons. The only dungeon I ever really had an issue with was Ifrit, because there was nobody available since I was playing on a European server on American time. So I had one of my friends come in and just, like, as their full level, boop Ifrit to death with like 2 hits.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was like, for the most part, we didn't have issues in dungeons, especially running them on like just the base difficulties, you know, first time running the dungeon. I usually didn't have people. There was like one time where somebody was saying things I didn't understand, and one of my friends was like, "Oh no, they're just unironically blaming you and being a dick."
So,
like, don't listen to them.
Zeno, I am currently performing the philophage ritual. It's going to allow me to steal the part of their social skill over to myself.
Yes.
So why not? They're going to be turned into a robot brain anyways.
Slurp the social. Oh, so that's how you become a streamer.
Make people's social skills.
Yeah, just eat people.
You know, I never thought about it that way.
But yeah, I was gonna say that, like, I remember that, and I also remember actually, like, something I really found nice was, I don't remember what the name of the boss was, but it was the one where, like, at the beginning of the dragon thing, she's the one that dresses in blue and, you know, blah blah blah.
Oh, Lady Ice Heart. What's her name?
Yes.
Frick. I know who she turns into. Yes.
It was that, and then the Garuda fight, the last one. We were struggling a bit, and I remember somebody told me at both of those points, because I leveled up between them.
Yeah, that was
completely different
Garuda.
people, but like, yeah, we like with the Garuda, they told me like, oh, you should do this to like not die in the fight. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
And that was helpful because I couldn't figure it out. I was too dumb. And with the lady one, they told me you should do your skills like this. That way you'll do more damage. And I was like, oh, okay, perfect, thank you. So I didn't know.
Mhm.
And they were like genuinely helpful. They weren't dicks about it. It was fine.
Yeah, that's like, I remember I came across it. Well, they were about level 60, and I think they'd done a skip or something, but they were playing a red mage, and they're like hard casting their thunder and their arrow.
They were doing a pre-pull, right?
Yeah. No. In pull. They were dual casting their short spells and hard casting their long spells.
Oh.
So they were doing it backwards. So I had to stop, and I told them, and they were like, oh, I didn't notice that. Okay, thank you. And then it was like, okay. See, so it's like, I don't know. There have been people where I've seen people doing the dumb, and I've just been like, okay, I'm going to approach this nicely, but I've noticed you're making a mistake. Would you like some assistance?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to say that, like, obviously I tried to help where I could. And I'm not going to say, like, the community as a whole was like that. The Final Fantasy XIV does have and deserve its reputation of being shockingly friendly. but at the same time, there was just, especially around Storm, uh, Shadowbringers, and a little bit before that, there was this. It was getting to the point of being toxically positive. Like, yeah, most of the time, if I tried to help someone, they would be receptive to it. But it was still so exhausting being a part of the community, and it just there were more and more points of people getting so incensed about the idea that they should be trying to improve and trying to do better. And, this was the peak of that whole healer thing I was talking about, where there were a lot of healers that were saying that they're there to heal, not do damage. And if I remember correctly, it wasn't exactly helped when I don't know if it was Yoshi P that finally said this or if it was something else, but like the suggestion that was translated to English was that it's designed to not need healer DPS for you to clear content. And a whole lot of people took that as, verification that they don't have to press their DPS buttons in dungeons as healers. And it's just like, yes, it's a very positive community, and I can still recommend it well over most other MMO communities. But if you really dig deep and if you get under the surface of it, you start to see a whole lot of these
endowment.
Cosmo Mitch tipped $25.
Cosmo, thank you so much for that tip. I really, really appreciate that.
The thing is, unfortunately to a lot of those players, all I really can think to them is, okay, well, good luck with raiding then. Because if you're not willing to learn in raiding, it's not going to work.
I mean, they're never going to raid. And this is where, ultimately, this is why I quit. Because I got so tired of this particular treadmill with the tombstones. I normally would never have to interact with them. Because when in raiding, if I'm doing Savage tier or Extreme tier, people that are there are usually there to learn. And that's why it was my favorite content, because people that were there were actually trying and actually cared about the game. But I still had to interact.
Great, at least
I still had to interact with the rabble because I had to interact with the stupid tombstone grind every single patch cycle. Every single day, I would be incentivized to log in and do my roulettes to do the same one of two expert dungeons every single day for my stupid freaking tombstones. And every single day, I would just be staring at these idiots that can't even do the very basics of their job at max level.
Yeah.
Play a Jade. You're forced to go through so much story. How do you not ever once sit there and be like, I wonder how my skills work? Why does this button flash up after I press this button? Who knows?
Yeah.
To be fair, I would be tilted if because I play Bard, and I would be tilted if I saw a Bard not using the thing that I forget the name of the skill, but it's the one that you hit it every now and then. You hit it, and you can hit the straight shot. Is that the basic ability?
So there's the
straighter shot. I love using straighter shot.
So do I. I love using what it evolves into even more.
It's it pops up, and it's just neuron activation is oh, I can click it, click.
And the funny thing too is, as a side note, there was this kind of a meme, kind of not really, back in A Realm Reborn before Heavensward. There were a lot of I guess I wouldn't say a lot of, but I had actually encountered black mages that were I'm an ice only black mage.
Oh,
and you just sit there and just LOL.
I remember those days.
At a certain point, it just becomes funny, man.
Well, we are approaching the mech hive. This is potentially going to be a very difficult fight. There's a lot of ground to cover here. Holy crap.
I have
But apparently, once we destroy this thing, oh, that looks creepy. But
The
supposedly, once we destroy this thing, we'll not get attacked by mechanoids again.
So you need help with mechs? Hey Curry, let's start booting up Helldivers 2. We can go fight the automatons. That was a joke. Don't worry.
So anyway, back to Red Pandas.
There we go. Time for a 10-minute unskippable fucking lesson on Red Pandas.
Can we make Red Pandas play FF14?
You can have a red panda in FF14 that sits on your shoulder. It's adorable. It's my favorite minion.
You know what? Yeah. I think that's the only way we can convince them to play FF14 in the future. It's not about the story or the community or the gameplay or whatnot. It's just, Azim, you can have Raijin sitting on your shoulder.
Listen, I watched through the VOD of him trying FF14 again with her. No. I'm not even gonna try. Zim is exempt from FF14 from now until the end of time.
Dear.
I don't know. I kind of see FF14 kind of as like Doctor Who. It would be great to have someone to experience it with, but it's something people have to discover on their own, and you have to discover it in your own way.
But I mean, it's exactly like I was saying though, because like, you know, yes, there are a lot of positive elements to it, but going back to that VOD where he tried playing 14 again, the wars in his chat about something as simple of whether it's okay to skip ARR or not was insane. And like, you know, I'm saying this coming from someone that I absolutely 100% fully respect Final Fantasy 14. But the people that will just so seriously and
people are a little quick to
vociferously say that you can't skip any story, I bet they haven't even gone through the process of talking to every single NPC between every single quest to see what their unique dialogue lines are between every single main story quest. Because you can never see those dialogues again after you start another quest. So you know what? If you think you can't skip the Final Fantasy XIV story and have an enjoyable time, if you think that you have to sit through every single quest line and every single bit of dialogue, then you better restart Final Fantasy XIV and you better talk to every single member, every single scion, every single time between every single main story quest because of all the unique dialogue that you're missing out on. That's character development that you're missing out on, buddy. You better go back and do all of that.
Man, I was just getting into the stream trials like before I ended my sub, man. Come on. I did the Dawn Trail Extremes and I had so much fun. I was like, oh, this game actually is cool.
It did.
Is it bad that I actually do remember having done something like that for a lot of the like AR where I would just be like, oh, they say something different if I talk to them and then they don't say it again. Let me go ahead and talk to them afterwards.
Yeah, now imagine doing that for every single expansion.
I mean, to be honest though, I've never really been someone who's been so hardcore. I've always been like, the story is good, but, you know, it's perfect. I've always been on the, you know, unless it's a talking cutscene, it's usually pretty optional.
Yeah,
there's a lot of inane chatter.
It's just the experience that I had.
Yeah, I understand, and that sucks. Sorry.
It was horrific. And that's not even, you know, that's putting it lightly.
All I can say is
yeah,
I'm
like,
sorry.
I've genuinely lost friends over me saying that. I've genuinely lost friends over me saying that it's okay to skip some parts of Heavensward. Because, you know, while they really started picking up after Heavensward, there's still a lot of slumps in Heavensward. And I think a lot of it is skippable. And I've lost friends over saying that. And that's the problem. That people are so... They take it so seriously when some parts of the story are just absolutely mid, if not horrendous. Like, you cannot convince me ever that I should give a crap about the time that I go to the step and pick up poop as my quest, and that this is in any way going to transform the story if I actually read what's going on. I can see that the quest line is telling me to pick up poop. This is not a wonderful part of the story.
Yeah.
I have a proposal.
I think my big problem is a lot of people also don't realize they're looking back on it through rose-tinted glasses. They're like, oh, you can't skip it because it was amazing. It's like, yeah, it was amazing when you played it, when it was current, like 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
See, I had the best experience. I skipped until I saw something hype in Aura. Then I stopped, read what was going on, and they continued.
Zim, tell me if you agree with this, but I kind of have a problem because I've read Wheel of Time, that to some degree, whenever someone tells me that a story is amazing and I look at it and I see that it's really, really long and really, really big, I can't help myself but compare it to Wheel of Time. And like, if there's not a baseline level of closeness to Wheel of Time, I'm just like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, Zim. We might not get you to play FF14, but what if we get you to play FF11 hardcore?
Probably not.
I have been yet to try 11. I've heard it's really good.
I will say I don't think I don't think Zim would really enjoy 11 very much. But there is a funny option here where Vari is a huge Final Fantasy 11 player. So like there's funny options here of like making Vari have to babysit Zim in a hardcore run or something like that, or just getting Vari to offer commentary.
It'll literally be the biggest escort quest. For reference, I played a little bit of FF11 a while back, and I don't think I got past level 10, give or take, without dying a few dozen times. Like, the amount of times I got killed by, like, bees or something was ridiculous. It was agonizing.
Yeah, like in your recommended training ground, there's just this level 75 Chad enemy waltzing around ready to aggro your ass and fuck you up.
Yes. And you can't run from them. You have to deal with them. You aggro them, you're fucked. It's over. Jover.
FF11 is like playing a stealth game, but it's an MMO and you have to grind.
Yes, unironically. I want to go back to it someday just to see if I was suffering from a skill issue that much, or if it like unironically is playable.
Talk to Vari. Vari's been doing a whole lot of 11 hardcore stuff, so.
Oh god, I don't think I can do hardcore. I'll appreciate if there's an option in the server. Look, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna pull up hardcore, I'm gonna tab over to like play a song, and then I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be an aggro to a wasp 10 levels higher than me, and it's gonna kill me. Also, the game is old, it makes no sense, and it's super confusing.
I will also say one thing that I tend to do with 14 though is any MMO for that matter, I compare them in their monetization to each other. I do that to 14, I do it to I've done it to ESO, Star Wars, or Sweet Tour, you know. And with 14 in particular, I just Guild Wars 2 it came out about the same time. Why do they have all this voice acting and such, but 14 doesn't?
I've never cared about voice acting.
Oh, I can answer that one. It's because when they were originally creating the engine for Final Fantasy XIV, and we're talking before A Realm Reborn, they put more focus on the polygons in a plant potter, and that took up all the space for voice acting.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
If you're not aware, the joke is that the original Final Fantasy XIV was horrendously optimized because they put way too many polygons and like random crap like potted planters.
I can understand that voice acting is not an important factor for a lot of people. That's okay. But when you have that much dialogue, and especially when I'm sitting there having a bunch of people being like, no, you have to read every little bit of this. Oh my god, it gets to be a slog.
Well, I mean, 100%, you know, my advice is solely as a diehard Final Fantasy XIV plan. Challenge my credentials. I'll take your stats on. Dare me.
Well, generally you can just like
skip away.
Generally, you can just trace back all of these issues to the original Final Fantasy XIV. You can trace it all back to 1.0 because they put themselves in a position where 1.0 did so horribly and performed so poorly, but Final Fantasy was such an important brand for Square Enix that they couldn't just let it die a failure. So they had to bring in, you know, Yoshi P and have him try and revive it into A Realm Reborn. And while obviously we can see it turned out successfully, there were a lot of lines that, like a lot of corners that got cut and a lot of things that got.
I think Rajan went die.
No, I'm still hearing him.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but like you can trace a lot of that back to 1.0. Like these days, Final Fantasy XIV is the only thing that's carrying Square. But back then, they gave like A Realm Reborn had like the most skeleton budget, and I think like it really shows once you start digging into the intricacies of the play of the game, where so much of the game is so clunky and horrible, and they just can't fix it because it's built on the bare bones of the 1.0 engine.
Oh, it's like pets for the lot. Like, oh my god, pet AI. God, stop. No more pets, please.
What I'm getting at with all that is just the fact that, like, other MMOs have done this. They have managed to pull this off with smaller budgets than what Final Fantasy has. And like, sure, when it first came out, I understand it wasn't, they didn't have as much money, sure. But at this point, they are making fucking bank. They can take the money. They could take the money to go fix it.
Square Enix is making bank. I think the dev team in Final Fantasy are doing what they can with what they're getting paid to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, Final Fantasy XIV is bringing in a lot of money for them, but it's basically the only profitable thing Square Enix has, and they're trying to push all these other profitable things, like all the other crappy Final Fantasies they've been pushing that just haven't landed. Like, I do agree with you, and also it's even funnier when you consider modern Japan game dev. There's so much popularity and celebrity status around various voice actors that getting good voice actors for your game is actually a genuine selling point. But you know, it is what it is.
Oh no, combat's fun and thrilling.
I did not find it fun.
What if I want to make Zim voice act the game, huh?
But
how about that?
I will also say that I didn't get very far in the game, so I did not see the fully fleshed out combat.
Yeah, unfortunately, it kind of starts off a bit. I don't think you'd start having what I'd call a complete class until you're at least level 50, and even then it's pretty basic.
Which goes back...
Every 10 levels, it gains a layer of complexity.
Which kind of goes back to my original statement of how many hours do I have to put into a game before I start having fun.
This is the funny thing with FF. You are 100% bottlenecked by the story. Like, you can get from level 1 to 50, but if you could remove the story and get from level 1 to max level, you could probably do it in, like, 3-4 days. Like, that's not solid gameplay. I mean, you know, wake up in the morning, jump on, do dungeon grind for a couple of hours, maybe all day, and do that for 3 days. With food and bathroom breaks. And that's all it takes to get you to max level. So it's like, probably looking at about maybe 40 hours to get 50 hours to get to max level.
To be fair, what I found my experience was I basically played for 2 weeks where I just kind of played FF all day. Like, it was like, I'm not doing anything else, let me play FF. And I just got through a Realm Reborn. And honestly, I was burnt out after that.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's, as I said, the problem is the story is what bottlenecks you. The actual leveling process is quite quick.
The thing that I dislike at that point is the things that I found fun in A Realm Reborn were honestly basically looking around the world and doing things because I wanted to. Which is probably what I liked the most about the game when playing through it for the first time. I don't play a lot of MMOs. So for me, it was like, wow, I can just go anywhere. I can just start walking anywhere. Let me go walk places. Mind you, I didn't have a mount. I was only using the chocobos from the known places, like the ones that had the preset ride thing.
The chocobo porters.
Yeah, so just being a gremlin and being like, I want to walk across the map and discover as much of it as I can by walking. I wasted a lot of time doing that kind of shit. But I think that's part of the fun.
When I finished Realm Reborn, to get the fuck ass level 50 quest that give you 0 XP. So you're just sitting there.
Oh, the
no
one
rewards.
Where it's like all the riddles. You have to solve all those riddles, and it gives you like
just the entire quest line where you get like barely any money and just no XP. So you're just sitting there like, wow, this is really worthless.
Yeah, isn't that the riddle?
Yeah,
the one where you had to solve all those community puzzles.
So what he's talking about is the 2.x patches. So after every expansion, there's the set of the quest lines before the expansion comes out, but you're still at max level. So they don't really give you XP.
Yeah. I got
the ones in Realm Reborn were like long as hell, and my fucking.
Oh, they do give XP now, but it's actually quite a lot of XP. Most of the time, by the time people finish with the ARR story, they're pushing 65, which is freaking hilarious.
Oh, go ahead, Gib Gab.
Yeah, but just in fairness, I thought ARR was fun, but it was partly because I was also just discovering the game. And that's where I do the fun in it, like just fucking around as well, and getting to like talk to people or chat to my friends about it. But that took me give or take 2 weeks of playing enough that I kind of was burned out after, and I just haven't really gone back into the game since. So I have to admit, it's probably less than the like thousands of hours. And like I said, I enjoyed myself, but it is a decent enough chunk of time investment that I could be like, you could just go play Doom and beat both games.
Yeah, if you're going to play through the entirety of the story with, I'd say, skipping most non-important cutscenes, you're still looking at something like 200-300 hours.
Nah. I mean, if the
Yeah.
whole FF14 story, I remember more not really.
Yes. No,
So
whole
back
FF14 story.
Back before world sharing and so now I think as long as you're within the same data center, you can go to any other part of the data center. And you can party with anyone else in the same data center. And there might even be cross data center play, but very early on, if you weren't on the same world as someone else, then you wouldn't be able to play with them. So back then, I actually ended up going through the entire A Realm Reborn experience multiple times, simply because of the need to play with people in different worlds. And my experience with that was, if you know what you're doing, and of course it's different now because the A Realm Reborn story was shortened, EXP is a little bit faster, but back then, when I was just trying to get to Heaven's Word to catch up to other people, my experience was like a solid 24 to 30 hours put into each character just to catch up on Heaven's Word.
Yeah, and there's a lot you can't skip.
But Zim was saying that he compares the monetization. I wonder how Zim would feel if I talked about how much money I put into the gacha game that I played for several years.
Gacha games are an entirely different thing altogether. I stay away from those.
They're meant to get you to pay.
Listen, I was a competitive top player in Grand Blue Fantasy. I had to spend that money.
Here's what I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand sometimes about gacha games, especially because I have a couple of people at work I see play, and a lot of the time they're just like, yeah, I like playing this game because I don't have to play it. And it's like, okay. I will sometimes mindlessly play games that I don't really have to actively pay attention to play and stuff, and that's fine and all. But you're spending who knows how much money on a game that you like because you don't have to play it? Question mark?
I just wish to say one thing: remonetization of Final Fantasy. I know it's not the greatest of on the MMO scales, but it's far, far, far from the worst. I would argue it is one of the better ones as far as monetization is concerned, but
hey, I'm still a free trial player. I will be a free trial player until the day I literally cannot progress forward.
That's fair enough. That's probably a good idea.
Well, when you reach that point, the real trick is to just not play until the next expansion, and then they expand what the free trial covers.
Yes. It's like when you look at an artist who's releasing a comic and you just keep waiting for them to release the free pages instead of going to their Patreon.
So, when it comes to the monetization, you are correct. It is better than others. ESO is an absolute garbage. Just ESO and SweetTor are absolute garbage for that. But there is also the other spectrum with Final Fantasy. Trying to give them your fucking money is an absolute goddamn nightmare.
It's like, just take my damn money already and let me play the game.
I love Japanese UX design so much.
My third time trying to get into the game, I went in there, tried to buy the game, and it took me literally 3 hours trying to do so. I am not an idiot. I am very capable with all of this. Their stuff is just shit.
Yeah. It took me like a day to actually get my account and be able to play and download the game. Just because I was
If
trying
I
to
remember
The
right.
download? The download. After I finally gave them my money, they sent me an email saying, go download it here. And the link was fucking broken.
My favorite part about this is
you
you have to be subscribed to download the patch. So you can't even download the game unless you're subscribed to the game. But, you know, I've almost always had pretty bad internet. I've never had a good download speed. So for me, the patches could sometimes take actual days. So it's like, great. I just paid money so that I could download this game for the next couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when there was one of the major updates that the server was one of their major servers was having an issue in Tokyo. And so it took most people on average 3 days to download the patch. So Square Enix gave everyone a week of free time.
I mean, I'm not going to, like, I do appreciate that they're relatively kind with monetization. And while they have been making some questionable decisions in the past couple of years, I think, especially with event stuff, the Mog Shop is getting a little bit silly. It's still, like, God, I could just talk about MapleStory. And everything Final Fantasy does would be, like, even SWTOR and ESO would be completely fine in comparison.
I mean, to be fair though, if you're looking to try to make your character look good, you really don't need the Mog Station. Like, the best cosmetics are usually actually already in the game.
Well, it's more that the Mog Station is starting to utilize a little bit of FOMO and doing some. A lot of people were unhappy with what they were doing with certain events or holiday or seasonal items.
Yeah, how they...
Which is a very, very light complaint compared to the likes of, MapleStory.
Should I ask what MapleStory is?
No.
And with that, I'm going to bed. But no, seriously, with that, I am actually going to bed. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
What's wrong, Zem? You don't want me to give another MapleStory rant?
I have been sitting here for the last 2 hours or so with you guys talking about Final Fantasy this, Final Fantasy that. I have been unable to barely slide a word in edgewise. So no, I do not want another
Just tell me
rant.
to shut up then. Just tell me to shut up.
No! I love you too much to do that.
Ba ba ba
Zim
ba.
had the 2-hour unskippable cutscene. And he was forced to sit there.
Then come on. We all know that, like, when you love someone truly, you can tell them, "Hun, please shut up," just for a minute, and they won't hold it against you.
Tell that to Rex. He's not that bad, though.
I mean, each to their own. That was mostly a joke. It just depends on your partner and their tolerances and preferences and whatnot.
So anyway, MapleStory.
Lee Townage, hello there. You want a tour of the grav ship? Absolutely. Alright, so first off, you've got the actual grav engine itself here in the center. I do have a mod to allow me to have a bigger one. You got the pilot console, and this is one of my main locations for storage. I do have a few others. Right over here, you've got a hallway that goes to the freezer, as well as the kitchen. And we've got a little, maintenance closet here with various machines that I need. Ow! You know, it's really hard for me to give a tour if you're going to cover up the screen. Good night, Ren.
Right.
How dare you not join us? Martens are great, yes. They are adorable and precious and need to be loved, however... Okay. So, up here we've got our dining hall, our throne room. We've got a rec room over here, which apparently, our aquarium has produced fish and all of my animals are trying to eat it all. Yay. Over here we've got the ritual room for our ideology. This area stretches down through here. This is our workshop where we work on a whole bunch of stuff. This is our hospital, our research lab. We've got more workshop space, cause holy crap, you need a lot. Over here, this is our containment room for anomalies. Down here, we've got mostly bedrooms, some of our hydroponics rooms, a library right here, bathrooms. We should really put in more bathrooms because we've got so many colonists and only 2 bathrooms for them. But that's a future Zim problem. In here we've got some more, maintenance and storage kind of areas. This is my, noble's bedroom. More maintenance. Over here is our indoor pasture. For all of our, animals to live and such. Another bedroom. Defenses. We have a lot of defenses because, well, they are important. On 8 different sides. Down here, this is our prison area where all of our captives get put until we decide to do something with them. We've got our shuttle over here. Really want more, but haven't gotten another shuttle part. More storage going into the defenses on the 4 diagonal corners. This is the newest section of the ship. This is where we are putting our psychic ritual spot. More hydroponics up here. Up here is just more hydroponics. We have so much meat, but we've been struggling with vegetables, so all the hydroponics. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, here's some extended kind of long-term cooking stuff in here. And this is our Mechanitor stuff. So we have the Avali mod. The Avali mod adds a lot of, well, not a lot, but they add a few turrets themselves. This one is a minigun turret. Has a... I'll show you over here. Maybe. Come on, let me select the minigun. There we go. It's got a pretty good range to it. Slightly larger than the basic mini turret. I guess larger than I realized, but this is the mini turret. I've got a mod that modifies them and was supposed to be good and make more options for making them out of them and such, but it doesn't really work. But yeah, that's the mini turret. Then we've got the Avali, the basic Avali carbide turret thing. This is a slow, more of a sniper rather than, you know, riddle them with bullets like the mini turret. And then we've got the Avali sniper turret, which is a bigger version, but as you can see, it's got a very large minimum range. Like this inner circle, it can't target anything in there. So basically, it's useless. And, you know, once the battle actually starts. But it's very good at taking out a lot of fights before they begin. Because this range is how far out it goes. And it's probably been shooting at this guy already because his shield is gone. But yeah, that's about it. If you do exclamation point RW mods, that should give you a link to the mods. That is not all of the mods that we have, and some of the mods are no longer used, but it's the best I've got to offer. Sorry.
Love you, hon.
Love you too. RW mods. Wait, I've got 2 Apocrytons over here? Oh, shit. Yeah, we're gonna lose some people from this.
Fight so nice, do it twice.
And I won't get into anything. I'll just find the VOD where I had the previous Maple Story ranked and send that to GibGab. But the short of it is, Maple Story is basically the game that really introduced gacha into MMOs in general. Like, they were the first one to really do gachapon.
Ah, yes.
Damn, I hope they failed. But I know they did.
Unfortunately, they are currently the most popular they've ever been.
We can't have nice things in life. Guild Wars 2, pay $30. One of my friends had a bunch of copies, and she literally just gave me one ages ago, and I can still just download and play the game. I haven't downloaded, I just don't play it. But I could, like, boot up Guild Wars 2. Still works. Still great.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
No subscriptions. I love it. What are you talking about, Lee? Oh, I wasn't really paying attention to most of that myself with the FF14 stuff. But I hope you're not talking about one of the people that I was talking with being an asshole. They were talking about Final Fantasy XIV. And hello there, Dax.
I mean, I understand that in my venting, it definitely comes off as me sounding like an asshole. I do genuinely want to help people. I will point out, when I was saying that Japan's culture is different, I specifically said they're not necessarily better. They have their own problems too. But in 14, Japanese players do take a level of accountability that generally you don't see from Western players.
Yeah, here in the West, it's definitely... How could you let me down, healer? What the fuck? Well, you are definitely assuming quite a bit about who has ADHD and who doesn't there, Lee.
I mean, it's fine. I know that was a very rough vent that I had, so. I will say, like, there is a lot of good in the Final Fantasy XIV community. It's still one of the best MMO communities I've seen. But a lot of what I was talking about, just like, there was some genuine bad stuff at certain points in 14.
Oh no, we're gonna lose Merle.
Well, what's happening?
Their heart got destroyed and I can't get them into the hospital for some reason. They apparently the hospital is just full. Ugh.
Kick someone out with less problems.
Well, the problem is that they took him to his bed, and I can't get somebody to now take him to the hospital.
That's a problem.
And yes, Dax, you did find a possum.
Still the best form.
I recommend the rainbow potion when it comes up.
Zem just loves guzzling down those rainbow potions.
If you keep it going with the regular potion, it goes feral. If it's if you use rainbow potion, then it's anthro. Frost Husky, don't bother. I don't have enough medicine. Maybe I can get you to put him into a bed over here. Ah, yes, I can. Whew.
I mean, Lee, it's fine. And I'm kind of don't want to talk about 14 anymore, but that was definitely me just like having a big vent because I genuinely loved the game and I've had my fair shares about it. And because I love it, I'm also very critical about the parts that I think are frustrating. So I wouldn't say you're an asshole. I know I definitely came off very abrasive during that. I'm aware that's the thing I just do. So no, it's fine.
There goes Merle. We have lost the Merle.
Oh, do I need to start talking more about Red Panda facts?
No.
Well, isn't it important for me to talk about red pandas while someone is dying?
Oh.
We are gathered here today to mourn the loss of our good friend Merle. Thanks to him, we now have the opportunity to discuss red panda facts. Did you know the word panda originates from ... Something that police word from bamboo or something like that. I don't remember what Regin said.
Alright, then you need to start giving out quizzes. See who remembers and retains the information.
It's alright, Lee. You'll find we're very forgiving in this community. But before I go building a sarcophagus, do we have anybody that's going to resurrect Merle?
He has ray gun. Revive him.
Oh, that's so... I forgot I had like 100 bits on me. Let's go. Poggers.
Thank you, everyone. The Merle lives!
Oh, next time.
Are you just gonna keep summoning more and more of these things?
I think you need to kill it. Directly.
I've gotta get through these buildings before I can kill it.
Blow up the building. You must adopt the American way of war. Sir, that hill is on our way. Well, delete the hill. There's a building there. Oh, unexisted. Easy.
It was meant to be blown up for cinematic view anyway.
Oh no, Right's on fire! Oh wait, I guess you're not.
Never mind.
Viv, you're released from duty. Alright, let's allow everything. Bring those corpses in.
Zim.
Yes.
Question. Was it Mario or Regin that went with you to FWA?
Matteo.
That's why I kept thinking that Regin went to FWA. Sorry, I just solved my own riddle all of a sudden.
Fair enough.
I know 2 red pandas and I just like mix them up sometimes, okay? I only know 2 of them.
He's connecting the dots slowly.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Are you saying we look alike?
No. You're just the only 2 people I know. That are red pandas. It's like how I confuse Curry and Garou because they're together. They don't look alike, they don't sound alike, they're very different, but sometimes I just look zoop.
Candy floss! Why did you take off your vac suit?
It was stinky and it itchy.
It was a weakness.
And apparently Viv also is missing his armor. The fuck, people?
What if they were on fire?
Still, you should not take off your vac suit if you are in space.
So they released a patch for it.
Yeah, but it's not a very good patch, apparently, because they still are doing it.
I'm assuming, yeah, it helped, but I don't think it fixed it.
Honestly, I wasn't having this problem happen before they released this supposed patch. Viv might be dying. Because Viv doesn't have armor, or thermal wraps, or anything to protect himself. Frostusky, if you're going to rescue somebody, could you please take them directly indoors instead of through this roundabout way while they are literally freezing to death?
It's the cinematic route.
Yes, because that's what I want, is them to go through the cinematic route as they're about to die!
It's drama and tension.
Some streamers spend all day bickering with their community, and only in their games is chat cooperative, by which I mean only the NPCs they name in the game are cooperative. Not you. You have a very cooperative community. But in game, you bicker with your community all day.
I'm not cooperative. I like being disruptive.
I have spent 9 years cultivating a community for all of this. But believe me, in the early days, when I first was doing RimWorld on the channel, and the community would spawn 50 geese on my map and throw a fit if I dared to slaughter them.
That's so dumb. You know what? That's people for you.
I believe it.
I don't know. When the game is difficult or is like smacking the absolute shit out of a streamer, I don't feel the need to do anything because it's just, yeah, no, they're struggling. If it's easy, then it's just like whatever. It's like, yeah, you can deal with it. But yeah, that also just being arbitrary is not as funny as just doing something stupid. Or letting the game do something stupid for you.
Era, thank you for volunteering to go into this building. Are there more enemies in here? Oh, that's where these are coming from. There are literal birthers in here. Just making more and more mechanoids.
Kill them.
I will as soon as I am able.
The war of attrition has begun.
Unfortunately, I cannot actually destroy these birthers. They do not have a health bar. So, what I could do... No, that won't work. I was going to put doors across here to at least keep them contained. But then I realized, oh, they, some of these buildings I will not be able to get into if I do that. Well, there's a turret in here. And multiple of those. Okay. Let's get out of there. Go ahead. Wander closer. Yep, you're getting... there it goes. Too bad. So sad. Oh, wait, no. Go kill that turret as well. And yes, Blue Bat, it did happen again, so at the least I can say you're not the only one that has done that nonsense. Ah, here's more enemies. Oh no! One of my bots has been killed.
Rip.
Okay, alternative option. We're walling this off. Though I am concerned about actually that if this thing continues to produce them, if I don't regularly go in here and deal with them, then we are going to have so many enemies in here. I think we're just going to deal with them.
But if you let them all accumulate in one blob, then imagine how satisfying that one grenade will be.
I can't quite do that.
Oh.
Can't you like make a kill funnel?
That is assuming that they're even going to go for such a thing. Which half the time they're not. It's alright. I can take care of this. So far, they're not putting out too dangerous of enemies. I don't know if it'll stay that way, but right now they're not. Though I am certainly getting a lot of parts from the boss mechs. But either way, this is where I'm going to have to call it for the evening. Because as much fun as it is, I do need to go get to work on Scar. So, thank you everybody for joining us on the stream today. That was RimWorld. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. There on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to help out the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, picking up packs of cards to stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or just coming by and hanging out. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.